What happened?
So, do we want to talk about the presentation first, or do we want to start with the chapter exam?
Um,
Let's do the presentation if everyone's cool with that.
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that works for me.
We're in the PowerPoint.
So, I've been looking at the advice that she gives us, like the description and stuff. So, there's 3 ways that we can do it. We can create and record a screencast, and all of us could participate. We could have just one person record the screencast, and like all of us contribute, like with what they're gonna say and stuff. Or we can submit the presentation in written format, and it says that we need to, if we do this, we have to write up our entire script of notes in a thorough way so it can be read as though it's presented live. And any way that we do the presentation, it shouldn't take longer than 15 minutes.
Okay.
So the whole presentation 15 minutes, or each one of us 15 minutes?
The whole presentation itself.
Okay.
Yeah, with all of our contributions.
It'll probably be easier to record it in a screencast than to actually write down an entire script.
Yeah,
I feel
think
like
so,
that would be a lot more time consuming.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm all for quickness.
I agree. Efficiency is the best.
So do we want to have just one person like gather all the notes and then record it themselves, or just have all of us contribute and like record?
Does anyone feel like super confident in their like speaking ability?
No.
Then I think we could just do it together. I feel like it'd be a lot more comfortable because I would feel super awkward like being like, and this and this and this. Like, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you guys
Yeah,
okay
same.
with doing it together?
And I'd be really afraid of like contributing something that you guys already did, so.
Oh, that's true. Okay. That sounds good.
Where did
What
you
does that
get
one
the
do?
instructions? Sorry.
What? The instructions are in the content page under resources. It's at the very bottom of the page.
Okay.
And then it should be right at the top. The instructions for annotated bibliography and group presentation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She just updated it.
Yeah, it says that she did.
Awesome.
So does it have to be like what we're doing now with the live stream, or does it actually have to be with the screencast website?
I do not know. I think she says that we can use PowerPoint, Keynote, or any like recording software. And there are YouTube videos that show us how to like record it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do we want to like have like a Google Docs or Google presentation that will that we can all contribute to, and like so we can see what everyone's gonna say and stuff, so that we're just prepared?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm having hard time understanding what you are saying. Could you please repeat what you just set up?
Yes. So,
Thank you.
I think a good thing to do would be to make a Google presentation or a Google Docs, which is in the
Mhm.
Google Drive that we have shared. So we
Mhm.
can make that, and so that we can put together our ideas and contributions in the same place, so that we all
Mhm.
know what everyone's going to say, so that we're prepared, so that
Mhm.
we don't like repeat what someone else says, like Lapril pointed out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what's the topic of the? So it's gonna be the same as we did in our annotated bibliography.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the presentation should take the general format of like an opening, a presentation of the studies that we looked at, and then a conclusion. So
Okay.
the opening should take about 2 minutes, the conclusion should take about 3, and then the rest of the time would be to the presentation of the studies.
Okay. Mhm.
Yeah. And it says this should be done in an interesting way that ties these studies together and flows logically. I don't want to feel like I'm listening to a list of studies. So she wants us to connect them and make it interesting.
Mhm.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So does
So
the PowerPoint have to be in our presentation? So we would have to like be showing our screen during the screencast while we talk, or
I think so. I was gonna ask if like, do we have to all be present at the same time, like in the recording?
Oh,
Like
it'd be cool if you could just record part on yours, and then like we can all just like merge them together.
that would be interesting. That might be a little complicated, but I think that would be good.
Yeah, I wonder. I'll do
wouldn't
some
we
research
have to do
this
like
week to see.
wouldn't we have to do like video editing though to put it all together?
Yeah, that's true.
Because I don't have any video editing software, so
Yeah, me either.
I wonder how it would work just like on PowerPoint though, like adding them together and stuff.
I don't know.
When is this due?
It's due in week 12, so I
Okay,
think
so we have next week to finish touches. Finishing
yeah,
touches.
because I think we have to submit the recordings.
Yeah.
I think it starts week 13.
Okay. So if you guys want, after we meet and stuff, I can figure out how PowerPoint works for like recording and stuff. And if it's easy enough, like, do you guys all have PowerPoint on your computers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it's easy enough for us to record them separately, I can figure out how to do it on there because I can always ask my dad if I need help and stuff.
Okay, that would be awesome.
And then I can email out what I figure out so we can get.
okay.
And also, we can use PowerPoint through Google Drive. It works.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Sweet. Okay. Okay. That means I actually have to start working on my part of the presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. We are in week 10.
Yeah. Oh well. Oh my god. Okay.
Emily hasn't been coming to any of our group meetings lately.
Yeah, I was really interested when she said that she was submitting, like when she answered one of the emails, because I was like, oh, you're still
Oh yeah.
are participating or not? I'm so confused.
Mhm.
Because like if she's submitting something to our group bibliography, then we need to have her in our group presentation. So
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
if that
So
makes
should
sense.
we
So I just want to make sure.
should we try to like reach out to her and ask?
I guess we could always email her and see,
Okay.
like, if she answers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay. Okay.
Okay, sweet. So is there anything else?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think it just entails us like working on it and finding like the bumps that come along the way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's 36 questions this time. And to be real, I totally bombed the individual one because I didn't really, last week was not so hot. So not going to be a ton of help this week.
Okay. That's okay.
I actually got a 90% on it, which is the highest grade I've ever gotten in anything. And
Awesome.
Nice.
I just totally guessed on most of the questions, and then when I saw my grade, I was like, I don't deserve this.
That's always
Just
such
got
a
it.
good feeling. Okay.
So you got 90% of the in your individual exam?
Yeah, it's the highest I've ever gotten in anything in this class, so I was really surprised.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, and I also submitted the final annotated bibliography, so you can see it on Google Drive.
Oh, perfect.
It's just missing the Gema's part, but
Oh yeah.
I turned in mine to her too on Saturday night, but I like turned it in right before it was due.
Oh, nice.
Yep. It's like 11:40 something. I was like, 15 minutes to spare. Yep. All right. Are you guys ready to get started on our quiz?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sweet.
oh, just a minute, please.
Okay, you're good.
It's a group. Um, Is group everyday memory errors, and psychology mid exam? No, right?
E.
It's yeah. Is it the right one? Let me
Yes.
open another.
Yeah.
Under
Okay.
week 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's week
The
10.
chapter 8
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah. Ready.
Okay. Do we want to go in the same order as normal?
I'm good with that.
Sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'll start, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. As outlined in the text, which of the following is not one of the three major hypotheses regarding the reminiscence bump in our memory? Is it the right question?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cultural script hypothesis. All of these are major hypotheses about the reminiscence bump. Cognitive hypothesis, self-image hypothesis. Mm,
I put all of these.
Yeah. The only thing I was worried, like confused on, was in the book it talks about the cultural life script, but like it's so close that it should be the same one. So
Yeah, I don't know if I got this right or not, so like I said, I was just kind of blazing through guessing everything.
We're lucky.
So do we want to say all of them are major hypotheses?
Yep.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Okay, sounds good. Okay. Question 2. Autobiographical memory research shows that a person's brain is more extensively activated when viewing photos of familiar places the person has never seen before, the person has seen before, or they took themselves.
I put they took themselves.
Yeah,
That's what I did too, but I guessed.
Yeah, I think I put they took themselves too.
'Cause from what I remember, their brain reacted more when they saw photos of them, photos that they took themselves.
Okay.
It would make sense that they would be able to better remember everything that happened. Like they could be like, "Oh, this is what happened when I was taking the picture," and that's like what was like going on and stuff.
Yeah, which would require more of the brain. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good
All
too.
right. Question 3. For most adults over age 40, the reminiscence bump described enhanced memory for early adulthood and middle age, childhood and adolescence, childhood and middle age, and adolescence and early adulthood. Was it adolescence and early adulthood?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Flashbulb memory is best represented by which of the following statements? It is a vivid, highly accurate memory for the circumstances surrounding how a person heard about an emotional event. It is vivid, highly accurate memory for emotional events. It is vivid memory for emotional events. It is a memory for the circumstances surrounding how a person heard about an emotional event that remains especially vivid but not necessarily accurate over time.
I think it's the last one.
Yeah, that's what I put.
Me too.
Okay.
What was the last one? It is memory for the circumstances?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. The same. Okay. Question number 5. The telephone game is often played by children. One child creates a story and whispers it to the second child. Who does the who does the s- who does the same to a third child, and so on. When the last child recites the story to the group, his or her reproduction of the story is generally shorter than the original and contains many omissions and inaccuracies. This game shows how memory is a constructive process.
I think so. I put constructive.
I'm good
Okay.
with that.
Okay. Okie dokie. Question 6. Asking people to recall the most influential events that happened during their college career shows that blank in people's lives appear to be particularly memorable. The sophomore year, peer group experiences, transition points, or academic challenges.
Transition points.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
transition
put
points.
That's what I put.
Okay, number 7. In the experiment in which participants sat in an office and then were asked to remember what they saw in the office, participants remembered some things like books that weren't actually there. This experiment illustrates the effect of blank on memory, script, schemas, confabulation, or bias. Is it schema?
I think schema too.
pretty sure.
That's what I put.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, because a script is like a running through like what you do in your daily life, right? And then a schema is just like a specific place or event. I think.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see the number.
According to the blank approach to memory, what people report as memories is based on what actually happened plus additional factors such as other knowledge, experiences, and expectations, event specific, misinformation, source, or constructive.
Constructive again.
I put constructive.
I think I put event specific, but I think I got that one wrong.
I don't remember what I put, so I'll go with constructive.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Number 9. Your text discussion of false memories leads to the conclusion that false memories do not occur for all people, but rather are experienced by suggestible or inattentive people, are a natural consequence of a largely adaptive memory system, occur for details but not for entire events, occur in laboratory settings but do not occur in real world circumstances. Um, I think
I put natural consequence.
Yeah, I put that too.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Sounds good. Okay. Question 10. Research on eyewitness testimony has shown that the more confident the person giving the testimony is of their memories, the more accurate the memories are and the more convincing the testimony is to a jury. The more convincing the testimony is to a jury, the more accurate the memories are, the more likely they are to be influenced by a weapons
puedes
opiate.
comer. Ande comiendo, tienes hambre.
It's the more convincing the testimony is to a jury, right?
I
Yeah,
think so.
that's what I put because their memories aren't always accurate just because
Yeah.
they can have ideas implanted into their head.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
So what did you put? Sorry.
The more
The more convincing the testimony is to a jury.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So the more accurate the memories are, in the
No.
more.
No, it's just the more convincing to testimony
Oh,
to
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
I remember.
Because even if you're confident of a memory, it doesn't mean that it's accurate.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, number 11. Your text's discussion of instances when people report a memory of being abused or witness abuse after years of having no memory of these events highlights the importance of considering that there is no test that can accurately discriminate between true and false memories, how visualization exercises during therapy may lead to false memories, all of these, or the specific situation under which a person recalls the past.
I'm not totally sure if I got it right, but I'm pretty sure I said all of them.
That would make sense because,
Yeah.
like, when Freud was talking to people about their being sexually abused, they didn't actually experience it, but they imagined it, so they were just visualizing it and having false memories.
Yeah, and like
So-
people who were put under hypnosis and stuff and like given suggestions, they like visualize that like their stepdad or their dad like sexually abused them when he hadn't. So I think it's all of them.
Yeah. I'll go with it.
Okay.
Examples from your book describing real experiences of how memories, even ones from a long time ago, can be stimulated by location, songs, and smells, highlight the importance of blank and long-term memory. Elaborative rehearsal, long-term potentiation, retrieval cues, or mass practice. It's retrieval cues, right?
Yeah, that's what I put.
Mhm. Yeah, I put that too.
Okay.
Okay, 13. Asking people to recall the most influential events that happened during their college careers shows that blank in people's life appear to be particularly memorable. I think is transition points.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Question 14. The observation that older adults often become nostalgic for the good old days reflects the self-image hypothesis, which states that people tend to remember more of the positive events in their lives than negative ones. Memory for life events is enhanced during the time we assume our life identities. Life in a society gets more complicated and difficult as generations pass. Our memories change as we live longer and have more lifetime periods to draw events from. It's the one about life identities, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's what tends to
So that makes sense with the transition periods.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what was that? Memory for life events?
It's the memory for life events, yeah, is enhanced during the time we assume our life identities.
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks.
All right, 15. I do not know how to say that guy's name. And Rubin's two groups of immigrants study found that the reminiscence bump coincided with periods of rapid change occurring at a normal age for people immigrating early in life, but shifting to 15 years later for those who immigrated later. These results support the narrative rehearsal hypothesis, self-image hypothesis, cognitive hypothesis, or autobiographical hypothesis.
I put cognitive hypothesis.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
put cognitive
Did
too.
Yep.
Perfect.
Extrapolating from the cultural life strict hypothesis, which of the following events would be easiest to recall? Marrying at age 60, graduating from college at age 22, having a child at age 45, or retiring from work at age 40. Graduating from college at age 22, right?
Yeah, that's what I put.
Yeah, I put it at 1 too.
It's not what happened to me.
Okay, question 17. Stanley and Johnson's weapon focus experiment investigating memory for crime scenes found that I think it's the presence of a weapon hinders memory for other parts of the event.
That's what I put as well.
Yep, I did too.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Question 18. Your text argues that the proper procedure for measuring the accuracy of flashbulb memories is scripting, pre-queuing, repeated recall, or source monitoring. It's repeated recall, right?
That's what I put.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay, number 19. A lesson to be learned from the research on flashbulb memories is that people's confidence in memories predicts their accuracy. High confidence equals high accuracy. They are permanent and resist forgetting. Extreme vividness of a memory does not guarantee accuracy, and rehearsal cannot account for them. Isn't it extreme vividness of a memory does not guarantee accuracy?
Yeah, I put that.
Yeah.
I put that too.
Okay.
Experiments that argue against a flashbulb memory mechanism find that as time increases since the occurrence of the flashbulb event, participants remember more details about the event, make more errors in their recollections, report less vivid recollections of the event, or report less confidence about their recollections. Make more errors in their recollections, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, question 21. The idea that we remember life events better because we encounter the information over and over in what we read, see on TV, and talk about with other people is called the, I think it's narrative rehearsal hypothesis.
I think so. I think that's what I put.
I think so as well.
Let's do it.
I
don't remember that one at all.
Not me either. Okay. In the War of the Ghosts experiment, participants' reproductions contain inaccuracies based on source misattributions, shallow processing, narrative rehearsal, or cultural expectations.
I put cultural expectations.
Cultural expectations, yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
Perfect. Okay, number 23. The repeated reproduction technique used in memory studies involves the same participants remembering some information for as many trials as it takes to recall all the information correctly. The same participants recalling some information, but many times each time receiving different retrieval cues to assess their recall. Different groups of participants remembering some information across different periods of time after learning the information, or the same participants remembering some information at longer and longer intervals after learning the information. This is the last one.
I think it was the same participants remembering some information at longer and longer intervals after learning the information, right?
Okay, yeah, that's the one I think too.
Yeah.
That's
so remembering information at longer and longer intervals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Wei has allergy symptoms. He has gone to his regular doctor and an allergy specialist, but he wasn't given a prescription by either doctor. Instead, he was advised to buy an over-the-counter medicine. While he was in the specialist waiting area, he read a magazine where he saw 3 ads for an allergy medicine called Sneezeless. A week later in a drugstore, Wei says to his brother, "My doctor says Sneezeless works great. I'll buy that one." Wei and his doctor never discuss Sneezeless. Wei has fallen victim to which of the following errors: schema, confusion, MPI, recovered memory, or source monitoring. It's MPI, right?
I think it might be source monitoring.
Yeah, I put that
I
too.
put source monitoring, but I guessed, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, because source in the book it says that source monitoring error is misidentifying the source of a memory.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I think that's it, but I'm not sure.
Okay. 25. Unconscious plagiarism of the work of others is known as cryptomnesia.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yes, pretty sure. Okay. Question 26. Jacobi's experiment in which participants made judgments about whether they had previously seen the names of famous and non-famous people found that inaccurate memories based on source misattributions occurred after a delay of 1 hour, 24 hours, 1 week, or 1 month.
I put 24 hours.
Yeah, I did too.
I have no idea what I put. I'm good with 24 hours.
Perfect. Okay.
All right, number 27. Experiment in which participants first read sentences about a baseball game and were then asked to identify sentences they had seen before, illustrated that memory is better for vivid description, is like a tape recording, depends on the participant's mood, or involves making inferences. Isn't it better for vivid descriptions?
I put involves
I put
making
I put
inferences.
involves making inferences, yeah.
Me too.
It kind of goes off of the constructive memory.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the ones I missed.
Okay.
Your friend has been sick for several days, so you go over to her home to make her some chicken soup. Searching for a spoon, you first reach into a top drawer beside the dishwasher. Then you turn to the big cupboard beside the stove to search for a pan. In your search, you have relied on kitchen, schema, script, scan technique, or source memory. I couldn't decide if it was schema or script, so I put schema.
Yeah, I wasn't sure
I think I
either.
put schema.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one I put, so I'm good with schema.
Okay. Number 29. Jackie went to the grocery store to pick up yogurt, bread, and apples. First, she picked up a hand basket for carrying her groceries, and then she searched the store. After finding what she needed, she stood in a checkout line. Then the cashier put her items in a plastic bag, and soon after, Jackie left the store. As readers of this event, we understand that Jackie paid for the groceries, even though it wasn't mentioned, because we are relying on a grocery store. Mm, schema again? Schema again?
I think it's actually a script because a script is like the sequence of actions of a particular activity. And so like this is her grocery store sequence of events.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Yeah, I put script as well.
Perfect. Okay. Question 30. In the word list experiment that was based on the work by Deese and Roediger and McDermott, many students incorrectly remembered hearing the word blank as part of the list of presented stimuli. This highlights a disadvantage of memory's constructive nature. Tired, drowsy, sleep, or blanket.
Wasn't it sleep?
I think so.
So,
Yeah, because
Yeah,
everything else is like talking about sleep but not saying it directly.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. Your text discussion of false memories leads to the conclusion that false memories do not occur for all people, but rather for and are experienced by suggestible or inattentive people, occur for details but not for entire events, arise from the same constructive processes that produce true memories, or occur in laboratory settings but do not occur in real world circumstances. Doesn't it arise from the same constructive processes that produce true memories?
Yeah, I put that.
Yeah.
Okay. The misinformation effect occurs when a person's memory for an event is modified by misleading information presented during the event, any or all of these options before the event or after the event. I do not remember what I put for this.
I think it's after.
Okay.
After
Oh yeah, because there was that experiment where they were presenting memories to the people like years after they occurred.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Está buenazo esto. Oh, creo que es mi turno. Is it my time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Loftus and Palmer's car crash films experiment described in the text shows how a seemingly minor word change can produce a change in a person's memory report. In this study, the MPI was where the word, I think, smashed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I put.
Yeah, I put that too. Okay. Question 34. When presenting lineups to eyewitnesses, it has been found that a blank lineup is much more likely to result in an innocent person being falsely identified. Pre-cued, sequential, immediate, or simultaneous. I think it's simultaneous.
Yes, it was. I looked it up. I don't remember if it was sequential or simultaneous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think the sequential one is where it's the likelihood of an innocent person being identified falsely is reduced.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Because
So
they're like comparing against each other.
Yeah,
So,
that makes sense.
yeah.
So simultaneous.
Yeah, pretty sure.
All right, 35. In the article, we read regarding the myth that we only use 10% of our brain capacity. What was the main finding of the study? Psychological students are not very optimistic about our cognitive abilities, particularly compared to other students. Psychological students seem to fare better in not believing popular myths propagated by the media. In general, psychological teachers seem to be doing a great job in helping students understand the difference between myths and facts, all of these options or none of these options. I don't remember.
I know it's not the psychology teachers are doing a great job in helping students, and I know it's not psychology students are faring better in not believing popular myths.
So not very optimistic or none of these?
I think I put none of these.
Yeah, I think I did too, because now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure that psychology students were more optimistic rather than. So I think it's none of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Okay. Based on the 10% myth reading, what can we logically conclude about our tendency to believe popular myths? Some myths are so pervasive, like the 10% myth, that it's doubtful we can ever dispel them. we should all become psychology majors since the basic education we get on psychology makes us resistant to believe myths, falsehoods, and misconceptions about human psychology and behavior. With enough education, we can be confident that we will not be able to believe popular myths. Or although education is not enough alone to dispel many common myths, those with the education should improve their efforts to debunk these myths, among others. Isn't it? Although education is not enough.
I think so. I don't remember what I put, but I think I got this question wrong. So
Yeah.
So I think it's that one.
I'm pretty sure it's that one.
Perfect. Okay. Ooh.
Oh,
What?
100.
Yes. Good job,
That was
Ryan.
good, guys.
Go team.
Woo.
Awesome. Okay, so I'll look up how to